Well, good morning, everybody. Ivan here. How you doing today? Hope you're well. It is just a few moments after 9 o'clock. I apologize for just a tiny little late start here. Not my style. You know me. I don't like to do that. But I was wrapping up some final things, getting ready with the information and the content for you to join in with our program for today. So let me just pull up the Facebook feed so I can monitor the camera so I know that my nose and my face are actually on the screen, because if it's just audio, that's all it is. All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is 9 o'clock. Today is the 400. We're going to talk about what does that mean. I talk about this all the time, the 400. Who are the 400? I've got a little list here. Why 400? Who 400? How 400? And where 400. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about your 400 customers. That's who we're talking about in this program this morning. So quick shout out, of course, acknowledgement, recognition, thanks, promotion. Our friends at Barbicide, the #1 world leader in beauty and barber industry, infection control, sanitation, disinfection, and education as it relates to those topics and even the great things that I share here. Thank you to Barbicide. You're all Barbicide certified by now. If you're not, go and do that. You downloaded the Back to Work plan. In many cases, you're back to work, and you're following these recommendations to protect yourself, your business, and your customers. And that's important, and that's cool. And we thank you for that. So welcome into the program. We're going to start, of course, with $100,000 hair cutter. $100,000 hair cutter is not a one-time thing. $100,000 hair cutter is an everyday thing. $100,000 hair cutter is a mindset, and it's a practice, and it's an active pursuit. June 2, day 153, 212 days remaining in the year. Price on the bottom. Price on the bottom. Put your prices on the bottom in a barbershop or hair salon. Take-home hair care products should be priced. The price of products should never be a secret. Shelf tags, they're great, but better individual price stickers. You can buy a stickering gun, or you can buy a sheet of stickers and handwrite them and stick them on the bottom. But you want a price on the bottom, and that's for a couple of reasons. Number one, it forces people to pick up the product. When they pick up the product, they physically interact with the product. When they physically interact with the product, there is a much greater statistical probability that they will purchase, take home, use, and enjoy the product. And that's why we have the products. That's why we recommend the products. That's why we do what we do. Also, the other reason why you price on the bottom is because you don't want to try to remember prices, and you don't want to try to quote prices. When somebody says, hey, clipper guy, brushless shave, how much is that? Your answer is, I don't remember. It's on the bottom. I don't remember. It's on the bottom. That's an easy answer. I don't remember. We had a president who got through an entire second term saying, I don't remember. I don't think he remembered. It was okay. Nobody questioned him. Check the bottom. And when they check the bottom, they know the price. They've also picked up the product. They're physically interacting with the product. They've got a tactile connection to the product, and they're much more likely to purchase the product. So that's a retailing tip, little tactic tip, little marketing tip for $100,000 hair cutter for today. Pricing on the bottom. And you know the book's got sales, marketing, advertising, hiring, training, promotion, shop culture, technical cutting. It's all in here. Paper, digital, and audio, ivanzoot.com or Amazon, whatever works for you. Get yourself a copy. Let me help you to become a $100,000 hair cutter. That's the book for today. If anybody watching online wants to offer up a date for a second reading, we got a bunch of friends from Milan Institute here today. Allstate Barber College checking in from Cleveland. Scott, good to have you back. Thank you. Hope everybody is doing good. I know there's a little bit of lag time on Facebook, so we'll give a moment just in case anybody wants to check in with a date for a second reading from $100,000 hair cutter. You guys know we pick today, and then we sometimes like to pick another one coming from the community. So that's always welcome and available for anybody that wants to throw one out there. Lisa the Barber, good morning. How are you? Good to have you in. People are all checking in on the Facebook feed as they tend to do. All right. Well, if that's the case, let's move on. We're going to talk about the 400. And 400 is the magic number. It's the number of customers you need to be fully booked and busy in the haircut business. And it is the number of customers you need to be a $100,000 hair cutter. Let me take you through the math. You know I love my tablet. And you know I love my marker. So we're going to drop the tablet here. We're going to check the camera. We're going to make sure we're on camera nicely so everybody can see. Double checking here. Now we're there. We're going to drop this down just a little bit. Where are we going? We're going to go here. We're going to go here. We're going to go there. All right. Drop that down just a little bit. These are some numbers left over from the finance class last week. We're going to make them go away. We're going to get you a clean sheet. So I call the program the 400. And it's in recognition or acknowledgement of the idea that in order to be a $100,000 hair cutter, you want to be busy. How busy is busy? You need 400. Here's what we have. We're going to be reasonable about our productivity. We're going to be reasonable about our number. We're going to say 2 haircuts per hour. And we're going to say 8 hours a day equals 16 haircuts a day times 5 days per week is going to be 50. 6 times 5 is 30. It's going to be 80. And that's 80 clients a week. We've got 80 spaces, 80 opportunities to serve in that way. And we're going to say, now remember, we're only going to operate at 80% occupancy. So we could knock that 80 down by 20%, and we could say we're only at 64. We're actually shooting for 64 productive haircuts per week. 80 is the formula based on 100% occupancy. At 64 per week, and client cycle varies depending on your market, depending on the type of clients you serve, and depending on the work you focus on. The shorter you tend to cut, the more often people tend to come back, the fewer people you'll need to be busy. But we're going to look at, let's say, 5.5 week client cycle. We're going to go 64.0 times 5.5. 64 times 5.5 week client cycle equals 352. Now, if we would have stuck with 80 at 5.5, that's 440. 80 equals 440 total clients. 64 equals 352. And if we tend to work shorter, like we do in the barbershop where I work, we go down to about 4 weeks. So we go 80.0 times 4.0 equals, that brings us down to 320. If we go here to 4.0 week client cycle, now we're at 320 customers. So I use the number 400 as that magic number. It's a nice round number. It's an easy number. Remember, we've got clients come in every 10 days, and we've got clients come in twice a year, Easter and Christmas, before they got to go to dinner at their mom's house. So we do have some variation in client cycle to factor into these numbers. But I've got you as high as 440 and as low as 320. So if you split the difference between that, that's a range of 110, so 55. That'd put you at about 375 plus or minus 375 heads. So that's where we get 400. That's where 400 becomes the magic number for the answer to the question, How many clients do you need to be a $100,000 haircutter? How many clients do you need to be fully booked and busy? Now, I don't know about you, and I don't know where you live, and I don't know how you feel about that 400 number, but I think that number's pretty small when you consider the size of markets and communities. Now, you're a hair cutter. We're focusing exclusively on hair cutting. We're not going to talk about skincare services. We're not going to talk about nails. We're not going to talk about hair color. Those are other services that if you do engage in, obviously they represent greater financial opportunities. It'll be easier for you to get here. But I want to focus just on hair cutting. Now, I live in the suburbs of the city of Chicago, as many of you know. My suburb contains approximately 60,000 people. The Chicago metropolitan area contains approximately 9 million people. That's a lot of people. Now, I don't just do business within my individual suburb. People cross over. Some people in our suburb leave our suburb to get a haircut in another suburb. But of course, some people in our suburb get their haircut within our suburb. And other people come to our suburb from neighboring communities to get their haircut. So there's a lot of crossover. So the size of the general overall market plays in very important. But we're not going to take this number in half. We're not going to cut 60 grand in half because that's the gender issue. If we're just talking barbering, we're going to take all the women out of the equation. Although I do have a few short-haired female clients that definitely qualify as barbered haircuts, I don't want to get into some of those details. I just want to talk people here. I just want to talk about heads. Lots of heads. So, if you've got 60,000 people out there and you need 400 of them, let's just look at the calculator. 60,000 divided by 400. That means you need 1 out of every 150 people in your community to be a customer. When you look at it as, I need to be full, I think the number can be daunting. When you look at it as, I need more customers, I think the number can be daunting. And you know, many times, many people come to me for coaching, help, and assistance in growing their business. They say, I want to be a $100,000 haircutter. Ivan, can you help me? Of course, the answer is, Ivan can help you. The answer is, Ivan is happy to help you. And I'll say, what do you need? I need more customers. How many more? More. How many more? I don't know. I just need more. I can't work with that. I need to be specific. I need what are called SMART goals. If you've not heard of SMART goals, I encourage you to Google SMART. That is a goal-setting system. But the key to what they call SMART goals is specific, S, M, measurable, A, achievable, R, realistic, and T, time-bound, S-M-A-R-T. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Those are SMART goals. So I really force people in these conversations to get down to the nitty and the gritty. How many customers do you really need? Well, I got a number. So the answer then is, how many customers do you have? Some of you that use like an online booking app, you can go into your app and you can see the number of customers you have registered in your app. You can look in your data and statistics and see how many of those customers have been with me in the past 5.5 weeks. You can filter and you can do these things because that'll tell you your active number of customers. And the exciting thing is, I tell you you need 400. And I think that's a small number. I think it's a very reasonable number. I think it's a very realistic number. I think it's a very achievable number. But we can make that number smaller. We can work with a smaller number because you don't need the clients you already have because you have them. They're not an addition. So if you're telling me you need 400, I'm telling you you need 400, and I say to you, how many do you got? And we go to your booking app and we filter your booking app and we find out that you have 80 customers, 80 active customers, people that call you their haircutter, people that you call my clients. We don't own them. They're not property. But to some extent, there's a level of security in having and securing these customers. If you've got 80, the best news I have for you today is, you know where I'm going. Now you only need 320. What are we doing here? We're cutting up the elephant. How do you eat a rhinoceros? You cut it up in little pieces. If it looks like a rhino, it's too much to handle. If you got to wrestle a rhinoceros, you got a lot going on there, and that may be more than you really want to try to tackle at the present time, or under one particular circumstance. You got to carve it up. You got to cut it up. You got to make it small enough that you can eat it and beat it. So now we've got it down to 320. Well, when I say we need 320, all of a sudden the number has become small. The number has become much more achievable, much more realistic. We now need 320. So now you know why we call it the 400, why it's all about 400. We know why 400 is important as a goal. We know why 400 is the number that we picked. We know why 400 makes sense for us. We also know that we can subtract from that whatever we already have, so we're going after even fewer. Now we're talking 320 in this scenario. The next question I want to talk about is who? Who are your 400? And this is going to be a different answer for everyone asking the question. I'm logging back in on my laptop. As you guys know, the reason we're no longer on Zoom for these programs is because we have some connection instability challenges, and I want to keep monitoring the situation in our program here on Facebook, but when that feed drops, I just have to boot back up into it. So next we're talking about who are these 400. And I think the best piece of news that I have for you when we ask the question, who are your 400? I think the single best piece of information that I have to share with you is the exciting idea that these 400 don't have to be everybody. You can be narrow. You can be a little specific. You can be a little focused. When you're looking for 400 or even 320, you don't have to cut everybody. You know, I've said for a long time, one of the keys to success in our business today is specialization. Our industry is big and vast, and we do lots of things. There's lots of services. There's lots of different things you can do. And I don't think you have to do everything. I don't think you need to do everything. I don't think you want to do everything. I don't think you want to try to be everything to everybody. I think you want to be a little bit focused. You know, when we talk about specialization, I always use the expression that to be everything to everyone, you are nothing to anyone. I'm going to say that again. If you are everything to everyone, you are nothing to anyone. If you try to cast too wide a net, if you try to do everything, all of a sudden you're not so special anymore. You're certainly not focused. People want to deal with experts. So we ask the question, what does Ivan do in this big haircut business? What does Ivan do? Hey, Ivan, do you do highlights? Nope. Hey, Ivan, do you do gray coverage? Nope. Hey, Ivan, do you perm? Nope. Hey, Ivan, do you do fancy party updos? Nope. Hey, Ivan, do you offer comprehensive, extensive, deep conditioning treatments? Nope. Ivan, what do you do? I do one thing, and that's it, one thing. I only do one thing. I do really amazing short clippered haircuts. That's what I do. I'm a barber. I'm also a cosmetologist, but my specialty is short clippered haircuts, flat tops, tapers, high and tights. These are the things I do. I do lots of them. I do them extremely well. I do them at a fair price, and I do them quickly. That gives me all kinds of marketing mojo. That gives me all kinds of marketing leverage. It also makes me very, very exciting and very, very interesting to a small group of people. Trust me, there are lots of people, when I'm in a social situation and we talk about hair cutting, oh, where do you cut hair? Oh, I cut hair at Mike's Barbershop. Really, I should come see you. And this is a woman with hair down to here. You shouldn't come see me. Don't come see me. You don't want to come see me. And it's okay. I'm not trying to be everything to everybody. And this is so, so very important. We don't want to lose the pad here. This is so, so very important. The more we hyper-focus and specialize, the more exciting we become to a very small niche group. So, to that point, when you're looking for your 400 or your 320, it is much easier to find them if you are super, super exciting to people. Because for everybody who's not interested in you and what you do, there is somebody else who's really, really super interested in you and what you do. So, you are more defined by what you don't do than what you do. It's another one of my favorite expressions. You are more defined by what you don't do than what you do. As soon as you start saying no to things, you start saying yes to more of the things that you want to focus on. So, as an example, because of the type of work that I do, you can pretty much eliminate most females from the equation. That number gets cut in half in my community. Because of the type of work that I do and the type of shop that I do it, we do lots of seniors. I like little old guys. I love cutting seniors. A lot of these seniors have been getting short, classic, tapered haircuts for many, many years. Seniors love coming to see me. Seniors love, oh yeah, you got to go see my guy Ivan. Okay, but if I'm going to be the guy who's hyper-focused on seniors, I may not be doing as many little kids. And that's a fair trade-off. But are there enough seniors in my community? More than enough. I do a lot of businessmen, but I don't do as many white-collar businessmen as I serve blue-collar guys. I'm doing the cops, and I'm doing the firefighters, and I'm seeing the construction workers, and the garbage truck drivers, and the municipal guys, and the snowplow guys, and the contractors. These are the kind of guys that are more kind of focused on the kind of work that I do in the kind of place that I do it. Well, all of a sudden, I hope you're hearing and I hope you're getting to see and feel the idea that what this allows me to begin to do is really start to hone in on the answer to the question, who is my best customer? Once again, you go to your booking app. Your booking apps provide data. Dig into the back end of Booksy. If you're not using Booksy and you want to use Booksy, send me a message. I'll send you my link. I got free Booksy for you for a month so that you can get on board, set up your profile, start using the app totally for free. Then you'll start paying. It's $1 a day to use. It's cheap. It's nothing to be involved in using an app. And the beauty of these apps are the depth and breadth of the back-end data, the analytical, statistical supporting information that you find in the back end of these tools lets you make powerful, powerful business decisions. You can ask the app, who are my 10 best customers? And I challenge people with this all the time. Ask yourself the question, who are my 10 best customers, and what do I know about these 10? Because you'll know these 10. The people that pop up in your app as your 10 best customers, you will immediately know who they are. You'll recognize their names, you'll know their haircuts, and you can start asking yourself, when you look at this 10 best list, what do they have in common? They are painting a picture of your target market. Their age, their lifestyles, their demographics, where do they live, what communities, how far do they travel, how far from the shop do they live. There's so much data that can be mined from how often do they come in, what types of hair do they have. Because some of this, maybe this is a hair type that you're really good at working with. Maybe you're really, really good at working with thick, coarse hair. Maybe you're really, really good at working with thin, fine, curly hair. I don't know. We all have our skill sets. But your 10 best list will help you focus in on it. And let's face it, your 10 best represent 2.5% of your 400. Your 10 best list represents 2.5% of your 400. All we have to do now is multiply your 10 best list. So we talked about why the 400. We talked about who are these 400. Let's talk about how. And how is the thing that stumbles people? How is the thing that freaks people out? How is the thing that scares people? How is easy? I got a book, 100 by 100. You guys have heard me talking about this book a lot. It was introduced in January. This is 100 new haircut customers in 100 days. 100 new haircut customers in 100 days. This is a day-by-day, step-by-step guidebook to building business. There's nothing in this book on how to cut hair. There's nothing in this book on how to sell take-home hair care product. That's not what this book is about. This book is hyper-focused on your 400 by launching it with 100. Remember, we said if you've got 80, you only need 320. You're a huge step along the way. But 100, if you're new in the business, 100 customers is your foundation, and it launches you. And you're 25% of the way there. If you're an established haircutter working hard, 100 new haircut customers might get you to here. If you've only got 200, it'll get you closer to here. And if you're big and busy, if you're already here, that doesn't mean you don't want 100 new haircut customers. If you're already here, you want 100. You want to add a premium 100 to the top of the pile, and you can lose a few from the bottom. You really want to be a $100,000 haircutter, that'll let you leverage occupancy into pricing. These books are available in a combo, and they're also available in a 4-piece set with Big and Bigger. Big Busy Barbershop, Bigger Busy Barbershop. This is the collection to really drive your business right now. But let's talk about how we're going to get the 400. The single best and easiest way to get your 400 is always going to be referrals. Thank you for the opportunity to cut your hair. I appreciate your business. If I gave you 2 cards, would you send me 2 friends? You guys have heard me talk about this for years and years and years. It still works. It's still better than anything else out there. It's still the most powerful way to build and grow business, and it's still basically free. Cards are cheap. It's basically free. It costs you nothing to build and grow business doing this. Now, here's what we're going to talk about. I want you to see some math. I played with this. I was thinking about this last night as I fell asleep. I was tossing and turning a little bit, falling asleep last night. TV was on, the news was on, a lot of it wasn't good. And I was trying to really ignore it and focus in on you guys, focus in on today, focus in on my class. And I got a picture in my head. Because guys, this is the way my head works. This is really the way my head works. I got a picture in my head of this chart I want to draw for you. And when we're going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to take a picture of it and post it up on social. But here's the deal. If you got 1, would you send me 2 friends? You know how that stuff works. One guy is going to send you 2. Okay? We have 1 customer. He's going to send you 2. You have 3 customers. And by the way, this is 1 week. He sent you 2. You've now got 3. You're going to cut these 2 new customers. You're going to cut these 2 referrals. Thank you for the opportunity to cut your hair. I appreciate your business. And by the way, we don't shake hands. We're going to elbow tap in the age of coronavirus. If I gave you 2 cards, would you send me 2 friends? Bingo. These 2 are going to send you 2. You've now got 4 new customers plus the 3 you had. In week 2, you've now got 7 customers. Are you following along with me on the math? Not complicated. These 4 customers, you're going to cut their hair. You're going to take good care of these people. You're going to shake their hand. Thank you for the opportunity to cut your hair. Elbow tap, tap. I appreciate your business. If I gave you 2 cards, would you send me 2 friends? You know the routine. These 4 guys are going to send you 8. Each one's going to send you 2. That's 7, 4 plus the 3. This now is 7 plus 8 equals, how many you got? You got 15 in week 3. At week 3, you're at 15 customers. See how this is moving very quickly? Those 15, by the way, we haven't had any repeat business because this hair hasn't grown out yet. All right? Now, 15, we got 8 new. Each one of them is going to send you 2. That's going to be 16 new customers. 16 plus the 15 you had is 31 in week 4. We're at week 4. We're a month in. We got a month of customers in a month from 1 by leveraging referrals. It's just this simple. And by the way, this is if you don't do anything else. If you are doing other things, if you're using social media, if you're using other activities and tools to build and grow business. Now, the following week, those 16 people are going to send 2. That's 31 plus 32 is 63 in week 5. You're at 63 people in week 5. I just want you to see what a couple more weeks will do. 63, that's 32. That means now we're going to have 64 new customers. Plus 63 is 128 in week 6. We're at 128 new customers 6 weeks out. Now, by the way, this guy is coming back for a haircut by week 6. And maybe these 2 are coming back for haircuts by week 6. So now we're going to see some spill overlap on this with an exponential increase in business. But 64 turns into 128 plus the... and by the way, that was 127 plus 128. 7 to 7 is 14.5. We're at 254 in week 7. We're at 254 in week 7. When we go to week 8, it doubles again, and we clear the 500 mark. In week 8, we clear 500. We didn't need 500 new customers. We only needed 420 or 400 or 320 if we had just a few to start with. Did you see how fast that math multiplied? Did you see how powerful this leveraging was as we multiplied out our customers across this? That's a 7-week program. This is 100 days. 100 days is almost 3.5 months. It's a little over 3 months program. And I guarantee this conversation, all right? If this doesn't work, I will give you your money back. Period. No conversation. No discussion. No arguments. It's that simple. But this is a 7-week calculation to take you one more week. 8th week, you go 500, which is 20% over the largest number we said you needed to do this. This is the power of leveraging referrals. When referrals becomes part of your hair cutter DNA, this can't not work. And even as we get back to business, social distancing, reducing our volume in the shop, we still have haircuts, we still have opportunities, we still have clients, we're still passing cards, we're still tapping elbows, we're still growing business. I want to take any questions anybody has about this. Why 400? Who are your 400? How and where are you finding your 400 customers? 400 is the magic number for success in the business. I'm excited to share it with you, and I'm excited that it opens up. It shows you a glimpse of just what is possible out there in terms of building and growing business. You don't need them all. You don't want them all. It doesn't take them all to build and grow business. It takes a focused, targeted approach to your best customers and their referrals to build and grow your business. These are your 400. I want to invite you back the rest of the week. I'm excited, guys. Tomorrow is Comb Clinic. We've been doing Clipper Clinic. We did Scissor Clinic. And you know, hair cutters love their combs. I love my combs. I'm crazy focused on my comb, my Zoot comb. Everybody knows how much I love my Zoot comb and what it was all about. You're going to hear the story of how Zoot comb was created, why Zoot comb was invented, and we're going to look at a whole bunch of different haircut combs. Hair cutters tend to be particular, picky, special, specific, and very loving of certain combs. They have combs that they treasure. They have combs that it kills them to get rid of, to give away or something. But no, we're going to do a deep dive tomorrow and dig into combs in Comb Clinic tomorrow right here on Facebook at 9 a.m. I hope you have a great day. It's going to be a hot one in Chicago. It's going to be a beautiful day in Chicago. So join me for that class tomorrow. Questions, comments, in the comments here. I'll run through them with answers and things later. This video will be up till tomorrow at about 6 a.m. So share it, review it, watch it again. Reach out to me with questions. Get out there and find your 400, or might just be your 320, and use that system to make it happen. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.